like the beat in rap music, and it's fun, easy to dance to.
The lyrics, as well as the beats, and it's just kind of like a different, I don't know, depending on what kind of mood I'm in, if it's my mood.
I listen to more mainstream rap, but what I like about that is how catchy it is, and I like it when I'm out with friends or things like that.
I guess you could say it's a way that African American men, per se, express themselves. And when they sit around, they tell their stories. It's kind of like they're telling from their perspective, which kind of relates to a lot of other African American males that actually sit down and listen to their music. So it's kind of like soothing and therapeutic for us in a sense, because it's just like we went through a lot of the same things that they're talking about. So pretty easy to relate.
There's really nothing that I can think of that I don't like about it.
You already know though, you only live once, that's the motto, nigga. YOLO, and we bout it every day, every day, every day. Like we sitting on the bench, nigga, we don't really play every day, every day. Fuck what anybody say, can't see him cause the money in the way. Real nigga, what's up?
The kind of people I think of when I think of rappers are college kids, students, young adults.
When I think about like rappers, typically somebody who has overcome like a lot of adversity.
Say Jay-Z, Nas, Kanye, J. Cole, Lupe, and those are some of my favorite ones, and the list goes on. So basically, because those dudes actually, they talk about something. They don't just BS through their music.
Rappers to me could be underground or mainstream. Could be anybody, woman or man, and pretty much any race now.
Better in all of them bitches, I'm better than mansions in Malibu, Babylon, but I never mention everything I dabble in, and I always buy slow when I'm straddling, and my shit so but you gotta paddle it.
I do like their music. I mean, I like Lil' Kim and like Nicki Minaj. I don't really know much about like I don't know really what I can say about female rappers. I mean, they're just as good as the males, I would say. So.
I don't really discriminate. I mean, Nicki Minaj is a good example of a mainstream woman rapper who made it.
I think for female rappers to compete with male rappers, they need to be kind of vulgar.
I feel like women are portrayed in a pretty negative light in most rap songs. There's not really anything positive said about them. But for female rappers, it's different. I feel like they are emphasizing a better positive image for women in rap music.
When I think about female rappers, I think about how they're underrepresented in the actual music industry, and how what few successful artists there are sort of sell out to this stereotype of you have to be overly feminine.
I feel like women in particular are kind of like, they're more looked at for their image than what they say through their songs. So I feel like that's a big thing for females in the rap game, because they have to worry about more about what they wear or to satisfy her audience.
Last night I let the party get the best of me. Waking up in the morning, 2 hoes laying next to me. Plus I heard an officer arresting me. Good weed and cold drinks, that's the motherfucking recipe.
When I think about themes, it's mostly sex, drugs, drinking, partying, and all of that kind of stuff.
Typically, when I hear rap, that kind of thing, well, on the car, like listening to the radio on the way in today, actually back from home, kind of like just partying and spending money.
It's the money-making scheme that objectifies women or uses more profanity than is needed and takes away from the art form that's rap.
One thing I would say is violence. Another thing I would say is relationships. I feel like those are 2 main things that a lot of rappers talk about.
I guess sometimes it seems like there's too much of an emphasis on like drugs and violence, and I mean a lot of the times the message is bigger than that, but especially for like younger generations, I guess. They kind of take it that way.
Partying and drinking, going out with friends. Seems like it's a reoccurring theme.
Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Licked on these lefts and stuff to dick. Get the fuck out of here. Tell the house and my bitch to make a quick run.
Usually, I think the portrayal of women is strictly sexual, and it's not necessarily a good thing.
I don't like when women in general are kind of like called out as hoes or anything like that. Like I find that disrespectful personally, because I was raised in a woman household.
Rappers portray women negatively. They look at them more as like an object and not as a human.
Like music videos, pretty much kind of trashy, and they never have clothes on, kind of like or kind of like gold diggers, I guess, or I don't know, something along those lines.
I think it's shameful that most rappers nowadays, in the mainstream at least, will objectify women as sluts, hoes, prostitutes, and strippers, because that's not real life, and that's not how women should expect to act in order to gain recognition.
I know they like to beat you down a lot, and when you come around the block, brothers clown a lot. But please don't cry, dry your eyes, never let up. Forgive but don't forget, girl, keep your head up. And when he tells you you ain't nothing, don't believe him. And if you can't learn to love you, you should leave him. Cause sister, you don't need, and I ain't trying to gas you up, I just call him how I see.